Welcome to this terrain feature on the Wargaming Garage. So the reason why I've built this board like this is because the Daughters of Charity will be going on a pilgrimage to this broken monastery. They are looking for a fail-safe switch in order to bring the demonic incursion to an end. At the same time, another battle will be taking place whereby the daughters are holding out for their sisters to arrive with that fail-safe switch. The demons know exactly what's going on, as do the Emperor's children, and they're here already to stop them. So what I've tried to create using GameMat EU terrain, using GW terrain, the existing range, as well as some older pieces from Sector Imperial Aris, is to create a table in which you can see the aridness of this land, and there are plenty of line of sight blocking features to make it difficult for the demons to shoot at the sisters, because the sisters will be coming in from any of the table edges. The terrain itself matches well. I brought these pieces on almost on a trade board on Facebook for very little, and these ones here were made by my friend Tony, who continues to do a really good job for me, so thank you, Tony. And you can see that across this board there's plenty of places for cover, because I imagine it's going to be a bit of a firefight to get into the temple itself. I'm going to have an inner battle that's taking place in the temple, so when the Daughters of Charity arrive, the Emperor's children, yes, have broken into the keep, have destroyed the keep, this monastery, but there are still resistors inside, and one of those resistors is going to be a very special character who we haven't seen since 2nd edition, so you will have to wait for that. But the idea of this board was to create a landscape in which the daughters on their pilgrimage to find that fail-safe switch would enter into. Ideally, I wanted to place the buildings right next to the rocks, but it just didn't quite work, a bit like Indiana Jones when he's finding the Holy Grail. But you get the idea that we have the outcroppings of rocks in all four corners, and this valley is where the monastery lies. I did consider whether to put a statue on the board. It didn't work for me, and the reason why I put a bit of piping there is not to fill the space. I would imagine, you know, this temple needs energy from somewhere, so I've put that in to represent that, and I think that makes another line of sight blocking terrain for this board. So we're going to have a battle in the middle here, as well as on the outskirts as the daughters arrive, and this is going to be part of a larger battle whereby it's going to be a split battle. So we're going to have the sisters in Shrine's capital trying to hold out the beleaguered sisters, who after the procession have lost most of their number. They're going to be trying to hold out while the daughters who have gone on a pilgrimage to find a fail-safe switch, retrieve that switch to bring the incursion of the demons to an end. Well, that's my idea anyway. It's going to be quite epic. I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible, just key moments of the battles. And next time I do a terrain feature, it will feature the second board in that finale. So it's going to be a really interesting prospect. If you like Star Trek and you think about Deep Space Nine, where you have two plots going at once but they're tied together, that's what I'm aiming for. So I hope you like the board. You can buy all this terrain from GameMat EU, still available. The trees come from a different set, which I'm going to talk about next time. And the reason why I've put the trees in here because they will tie to the next board as well that I create, using some further Citadel pieces as well as some Game Mat EU terrain and maybe some of the stuff on the shelf over there from the Muller and March of War. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So that's the board. That was the idea behind it, to have an outer keep, an inner keep, with a battle raging on here for control of this broken monastery. As the sisters, as the Daughters of Charity arrive to find that fail-safe switch that the Emperor's children and their demonic cohorts are already looking for. So there you are. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you like me talking you through the arrangement of the board. Any questions, put them in the comments and I'll try and answer them for you. Thank you.